Hi guys, my name is MJ. Welcome to Ver2 Toys channel. This time around, I want to run through new arrival from ARBox. This is a very nice Porsche 911 GT3 R in this very iconic livery. Okay, in the meantime, I've not run through this with you guys before. I've recently got it in my hands, so I thought this would be a good chance to actually cover both. Okay, so this is from ARBox. This is actually item number 3. I'm not sure what's item number 1 because item number 2 is actually the previous 2 blue color Porsches that I've run through with you guys before. This is just a quick snapshot of what this is actually. Yeah, the screen grab. Okay, that's number 2, right? You can see number 2, 2, number 2, 3. So that's how ARBox numbering kind of works right now. And yeah, so this will be item number 3. I really like that they have picked up this particular model because it's quite legendary in a way. Suzuka 1000 km raced last year. This is actually from Team Absolute Racing. Okay, so this is the packaging. It's sealed. I don't mind it being sealed as long as, you know, I believe this is actually a photo of the product, not the photo of the real car. So there's a photo of the product from the front and also from the rear. I believe this should be fully licensed. I'm making an assumption. At least it's yeah, that's Porsche license, and it's also Absolute Racing license. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna open this one up. In the meantime, help me to hit the like button because that will help me out with the YouTube algorithms. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that I don't miss on any of my other scale model videos. Because I noticed more than 60% of you guys watching are actually not subscribed. So helping me grow the channel will help me bring more good stuff for you guys. Okay, so the Suzuka 1000 km, it's actually it's considered old format. It's not something new. It was running for quite a while, and it kind of disappeared until last year. They decided to revive it. And it was the Intercontinental GT Challenge, okay, for 2024. They ran for 1000 kilometers, roughly, I think 6.5 hours, if I'm not mistaken. So it does come in a card like that. This is actually very nice. And the other thing I really liked was that it comes with this stand, number 2, because they actually finished second, okay. Let me take this out. They qualified 5th. The whole grid was actually really very close. They missed out on the second row by just 1/10 of a second actually. So it's driven by 3 drivers. For qualifying, right, it's an average time, fastest time of all 3 drivers that determine your starting position. Okay, that's the stand. Quite like that. This is actually plastic. Okay, I do quite like that. Packaging wise is pretty standard. Okay, it's strange, it doesn't stand. Why doesn't it want to stand? It's supposed to stand, right? Oh no, that's weird. Okay, is there any magnetic mechanism to stick it? No, there's not. The box seems like it's a little bit smaller than usual. We'll do a quick comparison with the Tarmac one later. Okay, I definitely want to open that one up. Okay, so they use this livery. This is actually based on the NEWMAN Livery. Okay, it's very iconic because, I'm going to show you a photo. Because of the Porsche racer, the Porsche Le Mans winning racer in 1984. And 1985 actually, the Porsche 956B. Okay, so this is the NEWMAN Livery from then. And yeah, if you, oh, hang on. Let me see again, because one of the Easter egg is this logo here. Okay, this NEWMAN logo. If you turn it upside down, it is still a NEWMAN logo. There, see, that is pretty cool, right? That is actually very cool. So that's what Tarmac tried to do. Not well, I wouldn't say try to do. They just use that motif. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work like that. Okay, and Absolute Racing has tried to do that as well on the roof, and yeah, it's not gonna happen. Only NEWMAN works. Right. So NEWMAN is actually retailer, men's fashion. They were on the height of their time around, yeah, the 80s actually, 80s, 90s. So they're actually a retailing brand. They are still around right now, but in a very small scale. It's actually under another French brand right now. I can't recall what's the name of the brand. Okay, and the story behind the 1984, 1985 Le Mans, right, is pretty cool. Okay, I want to take this out of the base. Okay, so hang on. Okay, I got it out. So while I have it in my hands, right, there we go. That's a very nice base actually. I do quite like how they have designed it like that. Okay, so while I have it in my hands, okay, so the crazy thing about this underdog story, right, about the 1984 car, is actually, it's on that year, the Porsche factory team is actually boycotting Le Mans over a few last minute changes to the fuel rules actually. So privateer team, Jost Racing, steps up with the Porsche 956B chassis number 117, wearing this exact livery, right, the NEWMAN livery. And pretty much, long story short, they won the race overall. Okay, that's pretty crazy, right? And for 1985, the Porsche factory team actually returns with the brand new 962C race cars. They actually expect to dominate with the new car actually. And Jost Racing returns with a fraction of the budget. And the same physical car, the chassis number 117, same livery, and pretty much against all odds, the older privateer cars outlast the new factory work cars to win the Le Mans back-to-back. I believe what happened to the Porsche factory team was there was some technical issues with their cars. So same car 2 years in a row beating the factory team. So that is kind of one of the reasons why the NEWMAN Porsche livery is so iconic. All right, and particularly on this 2025 race, it's roughly, yeah, it took the race total overall race time was about 6.5 hours. They were car number 7. Car number 7 was the only one that was able to kind of put the pressure on the leading BMW. All right, for the final stint, they actually put in driver Kevin Astri, if I got that name right, to push. Okay, he is actually known for his aggressive sanded driving style. So he took the Porsche violently bouncing all over Suzuka's curbs, hunting down the leader, and pretty much they crossed the line second, 13 seconds behind the winning BMW. That's pretty crazy, right? Okay, right. Very nice. This is actually a very nice casting. They're very nicely done. I really like almost real Porsche right now. This would be my third one. So on the side, it's AR Box. On top is Absolute Racing. Almost Real on the side. So this car is heavily sponsored by ARBox. Oh, about Absolute Racing, fun fact, they are actually based, somewhat based in Malaysia as well, Sepang. So it seems that they have two main bases. One is in China. I think it's, I can't recall which part of China, but Sepang is also one of their bases. So Absolute Racing is pretty huge racing team in the GT series. Okay, so it's actually very nice, and yep, it rolls very well. Okay, from ARBox, and just sadly, I don't know why this guy doesn't want to stand. Not even on the, try and make it stand there. No, it's not going to stand. I will need to find a way to make it stand later. Nice to put it on a stand like that, right? Okay, because I want to show you guys the RWB. Oh, somehow I got it to stand like that. Stand magnet? No. Just somehow, I don't know why. Now it can stand. Okay. We're going to move on to this item from Tarmac Works, the RWB collaboration with Kamiwaza Japan, and also 1048 style, which is actually someone that we know. Okay, so this is the metal tin packaging. This is pretty cool. So that's the outer box. Let me open it up for you guys. Got it out of the box. Then there's another layer of plastic. Oh, this is so cool. This metal can is so cool. Quite a few metal cans already. I couldn't afford to chase after all of them. Metal can for RWB, I believe two. Correct me if I'm wrong. One would be the, I think it's Polka Rosa, the Marlboro colors, the red white colors. That's one, and this is the other one. Okay, very cool. That's how you pop off the cover on top. There's a sponge. Take it out. There we go. Here we go. There it is. Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. Yeah, I don't have this. I did collect RWB from Tarmac, but I couldn't complete them all. There's just so many of them. So this is the RWB 993 Tarmac. It just says it like that. Beautiful. Very nice. It's a very old casting. Tarmac has been doing RWBs for a very long time already. I'm gonna get it out. Okay, got the wrapper out. Thought I'd show you guys the chassis number. Okay, so all Tarmac comes with the card, and it does have a running number. It doesn't tell the total production number, but yeah, that's pretty cool. And it's pretty cool when you get a low number, right? When you get a high number, then it doesn't matter anymore. That's how it goes. Okay, so it seems yeah, the Tarmac casing is bigger. So this is the same size as Eno initial model, and the almost real box is smaller. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna take it out of the base, but this is so cool. Right, so this is actually, the base car is actually, if you can recognize the, let's see, if you can recognize the logo on the nose, right? 1048 style. Yep, that's a Rough Freedom. So this was the Rough Freedom in Japan was actually wrapped into this livery for, I remember, a short period of time only. It wasn't in this livery for very long, but it's so cool. I remember it was for an event, but I can't remember what event was it. If you recall, let me know in the comment section below. The rims are so cool. That is so cool. The rivets are printed. Okay, that's why you can see the black dots. Very nice that they have the idlers tire detail as well. Tarmac branding all over. There's the RWB logo at the back. Accompanied with the Tarmac logo as well. Go to the back. Kamiwaza Japan. Nice. Very nice. This is so cool. Yeah, so it was just for a short period of time. I can't exactly recall when was it as well, unfortunately. Okay, so number 7. So this has the number 7. So number 7, it's the number of the winning car. Okay. Nice. Can you see what logo is it down there? That is pretty, the print quality on this thing, very nice. The tow hook detail in front, that's not left out. The iconic second and Wicklung, second coming, that's what it means. Oh, this is so beautiful. Okay. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Cool. Very nice livery actually. So the yellow, the shade of yellow is slightly different. Ooh. It's darker on the Tarmac. So two very different cars, even though they are Porsches. One is the Street King, The other one would be Circuit King. Which would be your pick? Which would you choose? The JDM tuner or the Circuit Fighter? Okay, car number 2. Second place car. Almost winning, 1,000 kilometers, 6.5 hours. Pretty crazy, right? Cool. So that's it for this episode. Remember to hit the like button because that helps me out with the YouTube algorithms. What else? Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that you don't miss on any other scale model videos. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This will be on display over at Collectors Qube. Do check them out. Okay. They're located in PJ, Malaysia. So if you're in town, do drop by. I'm usually around as well. And what else? Yeah, if you're looking for extras, I'm not sure if it's still available at the time of recording. This could be just, I remember there was a couple of days back, but I don't remember if it's still there. I think it's sold. If you're looking for one, just check with Qube. Cool. That's it for this time around. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.